Hello everybody, Faewryn here, first video on this new channel, and I wanted to show off a Dinosaur deck profile that I had for a deck that I went 5-1 with at locals, won the first 5 rounds of Swiss, undefeated, then lost in top 8. My matchups were Dinosaur, Sword Soul, Live Twin, Flaunderies, Brave Virtual World, and then I lost in top 8 to Invoked, Shadow, Dogmatica, with like DP and all that good stuff. So I guess I'll just get into the deck profile, and then after I go over the cards, I'll talk about the matchups. So, to Ultimate Conductor, obviously, like the best boss monster in the deck, probably the best boss monster, like one of, ever printed. This card is absolutely amazing, does everything you could ever want in a boss monster. It's disruption, it's board breaking, it's everything. Absolutely amazing. You play one Pankratops because it's a good target to kind of hit off of the Petit Pteranodon. It's good to draw it as like your 6th card, or even in your 5th card if you're going second, and it's not so bad going first because you can at least use it as follow-up or summon it off of the Petit Pteranodon. 2 Animador and Archosaur. You don't need 3. It's like kind of clunky to draw into because it only works with other dinosaurs, and it pretty much only works positively with Baby and Petit. So you pretty much only want the 2 because you want to summon it off of Miscellaneousaurus. And you don't want to only run 1 because if you draw the 1 and the misc, then your whole combo's dead. So you definitely want to run 2 of these. 3 Soaring Oviraptor. Excuse the mismatching ratios here, or rarities, I mean. Couldn't get that 3rd gold one. But, yeah, that's obviously the best starter in the deck. There's not much to say about this card. It's Soaring Oviraptor. So in the Scrap package here, I play 3 Scrap Raptor instead of 2 because, personally, I don't like it whenever you, like, draw 2 Scrap Raptor and then you can't do your combo. Like, if you're going first and all you have is Scrap Raptor and Lost World, that's full combo. But if you only play 2 Scrap Raptor and you draw both Scrap Raptor, then you just basically pass on like a rank 4, which isn't very good in this format because it's so high power. So you pretty much want to run 3 Scrap Raptor. It's a good starter. It's like not as good as Ovi, and it's not as good as like Archo plus Baby, but it's still really, really solid. And I don't run the fridge, the scrap fridge thing, whatever that is, because it's a awful, horrible brick, and it basically just gives you 1 extra body for Appaloosa, which you don't really need. So, I'll go over that more in the extra deck if I remember. But, then we have 1 Petit Pteranodon. It's just kind of like your 4th copy of Baby Ceratosaurus, because 3 copies of Baby is the maximum, because you can't run more than 3 cards in Yu-Gi-Oh, obviously. So, yeah, this card's insane. Not hard once per turn, not even a once per turn at all, because it's it was printed in 2005, so really, really solid card. Summons Obi from deck, summons Scrap Raptor from deck, summons another copy of itself from deck, summons Petit from deck. It's literally like the best card in the deck, if you don't count Miscellaneousaurus, who is absolutely insane. I mean, again, it's everything you could want from a card. It's protection, it's combo, it's extender, it's a starter. Absolutely insane. It's limited to 1 for a reason, although I would like it to go back to 3. And then the last main engine monster is Giant Rex. This is really, really good, really solid. Absolutely must run. It's a really good extender. Kind of sucks to draw, but as we'll go over later, like, it's okay. Then for the spells, we have 3 Fossil Dig, obviously. Super good consistency card. 2 Double Evolution Pill. You don't want to run 1 because If you only run one and you draw it, then your whole combo is dead, kind of like only running one Archosaur. So you want to run 2. You don't really want to run 3 because then you have to, like, you could brick on it. It's a hard once per turn, and it has a cost of banishing 2, so it's like pretty steep unless you search it, and then it's basically a free setup. Alright, and then 3 Lost World, 1 Terraforming. I don't run Pot of Prosperity in this deck because it's too expensive. Maybe if I had more money, I would run Prosperity, but the 1 Terraforming is fine, and doesn't really conflict too much. You really want to open Lost World in like every single hand, absolutely. So you want to run as many copies of it as you can. So 4 is as good as you're going to get, unless you play like additional field spells and like run set rotation, but that's kind of bad. So yeah. My 41st card is Monster Reborn, just because I like Monster Reborn. I have this like cool copy of it. Hobby League. Got to check by a judge, because, you know, sometimes Hobby League cards are a little bit thicker, but this one is fine. It's tournament legal, so I play it. And then 1 copy of Call by the Grave. It's just a really good card. Stops all the hand traps that pretty much you want to stop. It doesn't interact with Imperm, but Lost World kind of cancels out the Imperm, so they have to use it in an awkward position, but yeah, pretty good. And then, speaking of hand traps, we have the actual hand trap lineup itself for the deck. So we run 3 Gamma, again, mismatched rarity, and the 1 Driver. This card's super sick for this deck because you can do stuff like use Fossil Dig with no monsters on field, and then your opponent tries to Ash or Droll, and you just activate this, summon it, negate the effect, make a Omega, rip another card out of their hand. Pretty cool. Didn't come up today, really, but you know, when it does come up, it is always a game changer. So it's worth the 1 brick in the deck. 3 Imperm. This card's like super solid, really, really good. This format can stop like Verte Anaconda, can stop DPE if it's like the start of the turn, etc., etc. Really solid, obviously. And then 2 Nibiru. This pairs really well with Gamma and Imperm, but not really so well on its own, this format, because there are a lot of decks that are playing the Brave engine, which is, I think, called Adventurer in the TCG now. And they're going to set up a negate before their 5th summon, so you really want to draw this with Gamma or with Imperm, so you can negate their negate for Nibiru and just wipe the board anyway. And then the final 3 cards in the main deck, 3 copies of Token Collector. So this card is really, really insane against decks like I said, the Brave engine and Sword Soul. You summon this, and basically Sword Soul has to pass, and Brave Engine has to then stop the Brave stuff and start doing other actual plays instead of just spamming out the Omni Negate. This is also a combo piece with the rest of the deck, so you can open Lost World and like Giant Rex, for instance. And normally this would be like, okay, well, I summon Giant Rex to give you a token and I pass and hope you can't kill me over a 2k beater. But with Token Collector, it's actually full combo, because you can, but yeah, you can summon the Rex, and then summon the token, and then summon the Token Collector, pop the token, and then you can pop Baby from deck, and then that's just full combo from there. So, super good. Then for the extra deck, I have 1 Link Karibo and 1 Secure Gardna. These kind of go together. If you only have Archosaur and like no other way to get to non-dinos, you want to use Archosaur into Secure Gardna with the double evolution pill, and then you can just banish the Link Karibo in the graveyard and the Archosaur, get out UCT. But the main thing, part of the combo here, is using Archosaur into Link Karibo, and then using it and Scrap Raptor to go into Scrap Wyvern, so you can bring back the Scrap Raptor, pop it, and search the Scrap Chimera while also summoning out another and like maybe popping the opponent's Lost World token, because Scrap Raptor and Lost World is also full combo. just because this card exists and can pop a card on field, and you can pop the token, protect it with Lost World, and then you're off to the races. One Nightmare Unicorn, it's a good link 3. Appaloosa. Sometimes there's some awkward like board states you can get into with the number of bodies on board that you have, and you kind of want to make this sometimes, not all the time. But when it comes up, it's always really good. It just doesn't come up all the time. And one copy access code talker. This didn't get summoned tonight. Well, it like could have, and I like could have won the game, but I decided to go for a safer play that won me the game anyway. So it is what it is. But again, also kind of like Appaloosa, it doesn't always come up, but when it does, it's pretty much the end of the game. One Dolka, one Logia, pretty self-explanatory. Solemn Judgment, Solemn Strike. Not once per turn on this one, so really, really solid. Baguska for the plan B. Abyss Dweller, Tornado Dragon. These are just really good other rank 4s to make in particular matchups. Like I made this against, I think it was against Floowandereeze tonight, and I popped the field spell, and that was just game. It was really, really solid. Dugaris, I like hardly ever make this card, and probably if I play the DPE engine, which I might, because the DPE is really sick, I might cut this, because this card, like, it's probably pretty controversial, but this card, like, never ever comes up for me. And it just feels kind of like a win more card. Like, if I'm making this, I've already gone through, like, Dolka, Logia, and all that stuff, and, like, it just seems like, wow, I should be doing something else with these two material. Bujinki Amaterasu. This card is really, really insane. It does cost the 1 extra material to make, because it's 3 level 4 monsters. Let's see if I can get it to focus on the text here. Yeah, 3 level 4 monsters instead of 2, like most rank 4s, but this is really cool, in particular, because you can summon a Misk that you've banished earlier in your combo back to the field, and then use that as material for like a Dolka or something, and then on your opponent's next turn, you can add Scrap Chimera, if you do your banishes correctly, back to hand, so you have a 2-body follow-up on top of whatever else you have. So again, really solid. Oh, and then the 2 synchros I run are Faewryn Lord Omega, which I alluded to earlier, and Borreload Savage Dragon, because you can get Scrap Wyvern in the graveyard, and then use Scrap Raptor and like Giant Rex to get this equipped and get 2 negates. And then for the side deck, I just have some generic cards. This is like pretty much the start of the format right now, because you have Grand Creators and Battle of Chaos came out. This was a sneak preview, so Battles of Chaos cards were legal. So I have 1 Dogoron. It's searchable. It's Kaiju, so whatever. It doesn't come up all that often. And 3 Artifact Lancia. The card's really, really good against like PK, and it's like pretty decent against the Brave engine now as well, because like every deck's running that, and they like really want to banish the lady. Don't really know her name, but yeah, I mean, really good. This came in a lot. Definitely won me the game against the Floowandereeze, and probably would have won me the game against Dinosaur if I had drawn it. And I mean, I already won against Brave VW. Didn't need to draw it. Red Reboot, because this card's insane. This also won me a game in tandem with Artifact Lancia against Floowandereeze. Also really, really good against like Skill Drain and decks like that, but I didn't play against any of those. 3-dimensional Barrier. This card's like okay. I activated it literally once against the Shaddoll deck in top 8, and I lost anyway. So like the card's like fine. I kind of bricked. If I had full combo and this, it would be amazing. But like, pretty much just bought me a turn, which wasn't enough for the particular hand I had. Evenly matched, this card came up a lot. Really, really good card. Definitely worth playing it. Even with Omni Negates floating around, like, it eats an Omni Negate, so, like, it's pretty darn good. You could argue, like, oh, well, I really want to use my battle phase, so I don't want to play Evenly Matched, but, like, you can use your phases as a resource. You don't really need to use your first battle phase if you're clearing your opponent's entire board. And then setting up like one or two interruptions, because they've already gotten down to like almost no cards at that point, so it doesn't matter. And then 3 Solemn Judgment just to round out the side deck. You'll notice that the side deck is 14 cards. That's because originally I had Pankratops in the side deck, but then I decided to move it to the main deck, and I didn't really feel like looking for a 15th card to put in, because I was already at locals. So in the future I would probably like play an extra card. I don't even know what I would play, honestly. I'll think about it. But yeah, so that's the deck profile. If you have any comments or complaints about my deck list and how awful and horrible it was, just leave them in the comments below. Leave a like if you liked it. Leave a dislike if you disliked the video. That's what I'm going to do. And I'll see you next time. Thank you.